Rooney. Welcome back to the Roaring Peacock LUFC podcast. We talk about Leeds. If you're new to us, hello. Very nice to meet you. Please thumbs up on the video and subscribe to the channel and tattoo our names on your forehead. Coming up in the show, Derby got relegated. We didn't play any games. Dyche was sacked, which is a massive boost to us, I think. Ben Mee appointed. Imagine the scenes if we'd appointed Liam Cooper. After sacking Bielsa. Marcelo, thank you, Ad. I've got Leeds darts kit was leaked. And we got called nerdy, old, short and chubby by somebody on YouTube. So thank you very much for that. But the big news is that Wardy's back.
Yay! Wardy's back.
How are we?
Is that how you do it? It's not that.
It's the hand down. Yeah, you got to have hand down.
Oh, hand down.
Yeah, that's it. It's all different. So yeah, everyone's is different. But that's
Ben Hill. That's Scouts. That's Ben Hill. Navy.
Woo. And then Marines is that one, which is a weird one.
What do we have to call? What do we have to call you now then?
Do you know what my official title is now? I'm able seaman.
Hey, brilliant! Can we call you unable seaman?
I know. Well, that implies there's an unable seaman. So I'd like to see what they're like. But able seaman for now until I start going through the ranks. But start down at the bottom, unfortunately.
So what's there you go. Unable seaman ward.
So, my name is Adonis, and you know me as at the Adelites on Twitter. It's a very good hello from me. Joining us, our long-departed son, who is now can kill a man. I'm guessing is at LUFC Warden Sam Ward. Wardy,
evening everybody.
The Warden of the North.
Nice to be back.
And Machiavelli, Big Mac at Ewan Metcalf. Maccas,
evening,
you all right?
Evening, yeah, I'm grand. Thank you very much.
Are you insisting on a different name?
Yeah, I've got a few now. I'm starting to the podcasters definitely. What's the word? I never really had a nickname at school. I've got quite a few now, but they're fairly loose ones like Yui and Metz and now I've got the Danny Dyer. The exact wording was wide boy Danny Dyer of the North or
nice.
Northern Danny Dyer.
I can see that one sticking actually.
Wide boy.
Quite long. I can't get that put on my shirt, can I?
No, you probably won't be able to fit it on the little tag at the bottom there as well.
I don't know. My shirts are getting bigger, so I might be able to get out.
It's all those Big Macs.
Yeah, boy.
I've had a McDonald's twice in my life. I was made to have one. That was about a year ago, a couple of years just before COVID. I know a lad who owns one, and I took some of my students down for a freebie that he'd offered, and he said, "Well, I'm not giving you students a free one. You've never had a McDonald's." I went, "No," and he made me have one. And I had one. I had one with my son a while ago. That's two in my life.
Bloody hell.
So my nickname's not Big Mac because I eat loads of McDonald's. That's I'm hefty for other reasons.
I mean, most of it's made in a laboratory anyway, isn't it?
Oh,
McDonald's.
It's not good, mate.
Nah,
Got to be careful what I say.
Comes out the back end in about 10 minutes, isn't it?
All those E numbers.
Yeah, you're hungry again.
What's an E number? That doesn't grow on trees, does it?
Maybe. To be honest, you know what I mean? With McDonald's, I better be careful what I say because I'm just waiting for that lucrative. We're just waiting for that lucrative McDonald's sponsorship deal to come through out, so I better be careful.
It's coming.
Yeah. So just quickly then, just to get it out of the way, Wardy, you can now kill a man, right?
Yeah. These are classed as lethal weapons now. No, nothing like that. It was only phase 1 training, so kind of the basics of being in the military, but go back.
Phase 1 is like seduce a man, or
yeah. It's just the basic thing that most people in the military have to go through, no matter what you do. But yeah, phase 2 coming up, which will be a lot more chilled out, thankfully, because pretty intense phase 1. It was hard work, but
like
really
monkey bars and.
Yeah, a lot of assault courses, a lot of fitness stuff, weapons handling, a lot of marching.
YMCA.
Did a lot of that. Yeah, all that. But yeah, it was just fucking intense, to be honest. So it's been nice.
Do you know all the words to in the Navy?
In the Navy, yeah.
Sail the 7 seas in the Navy.
Yes, I do.
That's phase 1. That's phase 1.
Phase 1. Phase 2, YMCA.
Excellent. Can't wait.
But no, it's it's nice to be back, to be honest.
Good lads.
Fine.
Great to have you back, mate. I'm being joking, obviously, but it's brilliant to have you back, mate.
Yeah, no, I've been getting this on for the past week and a half. I've been back. It's fine.
Yeah, we've missed you, Wardy. We've missed you.
I missed it too.
And so, but you're going to war as soon as we are, basically. Probably next month.
Yeah, it won't be long. No, I don't know. It's a weird one, isn't it? It's, I don't think it'll happen, will it? No,
I don't think so. But what did happen? What did happen was Derby got relegated.
Yes, in a bit. Such
Big shame that.
Yeah.
You'll feel sorry for them, don't you? Big Mac, your thoughts on Derby?
It's fucking hilarious, isn't it? It just, you know what? I don't like to hold grudges against any team, really. I'm not even a massive hater of our traditional rivals, let alone a nobody team like Derby. But ever since that playoff, particularly, did it make it worse with Lampard? Yeah, of course it did. Lampard made it a lot worse because he's a whinging bastard and he sort of lied, and he was a bit of a grass one about the Spygate thing. Everything to do with him just is pretty despicable and unlikable, isn't it? And he goes to Derby, he's average, he thinks he's brilliant. Yeah, he got a great result against us in the playoff, turned it round and stuff, but we sort of own worst enemies, weren't we? Yeah. So I really did start to establish it's not hard for me to start disliking people, to be honest. you might be surprised to hear this, but I can my black book's pretty big. I can hold a grudge and form a grudge in about 5 seconds flat. So yeah, I did start to dislike them, and I thought the way that they celebrated was over the top and unnecessary, and obviously with the rumours or otherwise that they'd defecated in the changing rooms and the way they'd sort of been to sort of staff and other people around Ellen Road, I think was pretty despicable. But to say that the two clubs' fortunes had spiralled since would be an understatement. They celebrated that win when they beat us like they'd won the playoffs and they still had a game to go, and I thought that's partly why they probably didn't turn up on the final. But yeah, I mean, what a brilliant way for it to, for them to the next season to have to give us a guard of honour as where named champions was just fate. And then what's happened since? I mean, God bless Wayne Rooney's done an amazing job, really. I mean, considering how many grannies he's shagging in between, to keep his bloody focus on, almost saving him with the massive points tally that they'd had deducted was pretty, valiant of him. But I can't say I was disappointed. I was giggling yesterday and laughing, just thinking all them Derby fans who were wallowing in. You know what I mean? Wallowing in, he's got the Football League on strings. He's got Mel Morris, and he's absolutely ruined them. And they were loving it when he was, yeah, they were giving it the big one, and they're all saying, "Oh, Mel Morris, this, that, and the other." Now they weren't saying it when he was, doing what he was doing, and they were getting away with it. He got found out, and they've paid the price for it. I'm delighted they've gone down, and I didn't really want them to get liquidated and be out of thing. Because I think that's a horrible thing to wish on anybody. But to suffer some pain for a few years will be absolutely fine. Take your medicine, Derby.
Liquidated like the shit that they did in our changing room.
Was that ever confirmed? That, by the way, or was that always just a bit of a?
I mean, Phil Hay said it, so it's about as confirmed as you can get.
He's got a blue tick now, so that's confirmed, isn't it? He wouldn't lie, old Phil.
No, nobody with a blue tick lies.
No.
I would generally tend to trust Phil there. Suspicious brown substance was the actual quote.
Let's be honest. If it's shit, you know it's shit, don't you?
It's not as if it's going to be a catch just come in and just done it quickly, is it?
For a bit of chocolate. They've had a bit of chocolate to celebrate, and it's got
celebrating chocolate. Yeah.
It stinks like shit though. It's probably shit then.
It's quite noticeable, I would say. Yeah. Quite unmistakable. That's the term.
I'm trying to think of the player that would have done that. Who would have done that in that Derby squad? There's quite a few candidates, weren't there? What's his name? That moron.
Keogh.
Tom Lawrence.
Tom Lawrence, definitely, and the fullback who's gone went to, was it from Huddersfield, and he's gone somewhere else in the Championship more recently. Anyway, there's a few candidates in there.
Yeah, there is.
few of your comments then. Finally, a pro on the podcast. Welcome back, Wardy. Derby acting like virgins over Spygate was pathetic, says Nicholas Griffin. And R.I.P. Derby, Mel Morris car crash. They had a car crash, didn't they?
Yeah, that as well, yeah.
Kia, yeah.
Such a
There was suspicious white powdered baggie.
Yeah.
On the floor near that car crash as well. I mean,
it's just a catalogue of shit from, isn't it? I mean, for me, it all started when we were in the Championship and we were just there year in, year out. And I went to Derby away, and it was when Robbie Savage was at the end of his career, and he was playing there and came to the away end. They'd beaten us, obviously, because we were shit back then. And they came to the away end and was just giving everyone shit and wound every single Leeds fan up there. And since then, I never really liked them. My dad used to say, back in the 70s and 80s, used to be a bit of a rival. But to be honest, our rivalry with them died. The small rivalry we had as soon as we got promoted. We've got far much bigger problems now than fucking Derby County. It's just hilarious to see them go down with Wayne Rooney. I think that for me, that's just tops it off nicely. To be fair, he did get some good results, and had he not had all the deductions, but fuck him, he did. I don't like him and I don't like Derby, so I'm quite happy about it, if I'm honest. But yeah, to see them go down with him, for me, just makes it all so much sweeter. And like you said, Ewan, them fans were genuinely, they were loving it when they knew that they were breaking the rules and being all dodgy, and they were genuinely loving that. So yeah, you're going to get caught at some point, aren't you? So yeah, fuck them in a bit.
So this is what we got sent.
In a bit dog shit.
Yeah.
Sky Sports tweeted out 12 points deducted for administration, 9 points deducted for historical financial breaches. Backdrop of liquidation threats, transfer embargo, still no new owner, 31 points, 13 wins. Derby have been relegated, but what a job Wayne Rooney and his players have done. And we got sent this by, I think, someone who's remaining anonymous. Bollocks to that. 12 times cheating on his wife whilst in administration, 9 of which were grannies over 60. Backdrop of tabloid threats to expose his granny shagging ways. Shagging embargo by his wife. Still no morals, 31 STIs, 13 minutes it took me to make this. Derby have been relegated, but what a top shagger Wayne Rooney is.
Oh, brilliant.
You're getting a shagging embargo from your wife. That's it. No more shagging.
No more grannies.
No more grannies.
Oh, man. He's such a weird man, isn't he?
No more getting farted on by students.
Oh god, yeah, there was that as well, isn't there? There's just honestly, there's so many things that you can dislike about them. There's so many dodgy things they've done over the past, say, 5-10 years that you just think
it's unbelievable. Just signing Rooney and making him number 32 and getting 32 red to pay for it.
Insane, isn't it?
There's a whole lot of despicable shit goes on. Sometimes you give like Radrizzani the Burma thing and the badge gate and all that stuff, but Jesus, Derby have, make Chelino and Bates look like, considerate custodians of the football club.
Right, that's just about enough of Derby then.
Fuck Derby. Let's not talk about any more. The shit. They've not been relegated. Hope they get relegated again. League 2 for a few years would be brilliant.
Yeah, that would be good, wouldn't it? The newest law. That'd be
good. Just especially a few of Forest are going to get promoted to the Premier League as well. That'd be even more funny.
A few of your comments to round it off. Lampard smelt it and dealt it, says Mark Ride.
Yeah.
Savage, the Man U boy, says Nicholas Griffin. McAllister Bishop, do you lads think they'll sink even further? I've heard of some big points deductions again if they can't clear their debt.
It's hard. Yeah, definitely. It's hard to see how they're going to turn it around quickly because who's going to buy the club with that amount of debt?
Yeah, I don't know. He's what's his face? Old Newcastle owner. Is he not going to bother? No. Someone's rumors of him.
Maybe so, but
Mike Ashley, sorry.
And he probably would be one that would buy it with the debt because he'll work out a way to get right. He always does. When he did it with Newcastle, he's done it. He'll do it. It could be, but it's a lot to take on in it. I think he's probably had his shot with the football club. It's not.
Yeah.
It's pretty thankless, isn't it? Really.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, definitely. Especially one that's
somebody like him.
In debt.
Yeah. I wouldn't trust anybody with two first names either.
No. I want to do someone with three first names, and couldn't trust him.
Right.
Yeah.
Trent Alexander-Arnold.
Yeah.
That's the first sign of not trusting somebody, isn't it? Is if they've got more than one first name.
Yeah, that's too much.
3 first names for him. Right. Sean Dyche. I think that was bizarre from my perspective. I think they've done us a solid rather.
Yeah. I don't know what they're expecting. That's the thing that gets me. I don't know what they now expect to do. You think Ben Mee's going to suddenly take them, out of the relegation spots? It's just such a strange thing to do for someone who probably, had he been given a fair crack at the whip, I don't think Burnley's owners are too great, and obviously probably don't give him enough money that he wants to spend. But the type of football isn't for me, but it gets results, and he's done well with Burnley. And I just think it's such a strange decision to do it right now. I mean, how many games have we got left? It's a handful of games, isn't it?
They've got about 7, haven't they?
Well, they've got a few more, but I don't know what they expect to happen in that short space of time. It's pretty mad.
The thing is, they're only 3 points behind Everton.
Mm.
Everton have some really difficult teams coming up, and Burnley have an easier run in.
Mm.
It just seemed to me like what a favour they've done for us.
Yeah.
to sack Dyche. I mean, Dyche was the one thing that I was giving them any chance of surviving with.
Yeah, definitely. Mm. Yeah. It's just honestly such a strange decision, but that'll surely sees them relegated. Surely, you can't see Ben Mee doing him a favour, can you? It's just strange. Is he not meant to be playing as well? Is like how does?
I don't know what that decision has been made based upon, but you would imagine something must have gone on.
Mm.
Just don't imagine that you get, he's kept them up season after season when they've generally speaking been there or thereabouts as Dyche, and he is that factor that you kind of think he's going to continue playing the same way, and he's going to probably scratch a few points that he shouldn't get. And I'm not saying they haven't particularly turned a corner recently, have they? But they'd started to get a couple of results. I mean, they got a draw with me on the weekend, didn't they? So in a way, you could say it's been justified if they start to get a few results back to back. But it suggests to me that something's gone on behind the scenes, or there's been some fallout or whatever, because it's a crazy time to get rid of it. I mean, not least because even if they go down, you'd imagine Dyche should be a good person to get them back.
Exactly.
But odd one.
To not have someone come in straight away, they haven't had anyone planned to come in. It's just
that's why I think it must have been heat of the moment. Something's gone on, I reckon.
Yeah, definitely.
So speaking of something going on, we got sent this. I would have to say it's kind of clearly not true, but it's funny anyway, so we're just going to talk about it. So a forwarded WhatsApp message. Rumour has it, after the Burnley-Everton game last week, Dyche and Big Dunk went out on the lash. Bugle and brasses everywhere. Bouncers have come over. Is that Bugle?
Bugle.
What? Yeah, Bugle. Yeah.
Oh, Bugle. Bugle and brasses everywhere. Bouncers have come over and asked them to keep it down a bit. One thing led to another. That phrase is always the hallmark of a very, very true story. One thing led to another, and Dyche and Dunk have weighed in a couple of doormen. Police got called. Turns out Dyche and Dunk got previous and well known for smashing up boozers.
Really?
All going through the courts now, apparently. Dyche and Dunk looking at 6 years for grievous bodily harm. So Burnley decided to sack Dyche now, as they don't want their manager to be all over the news.
Like that's not making the news. Fuck me.
Right. Yeah.
smells like bullshit. If it looks like bullshit, it smells like bullshit. You like that brown substance. If it looks like it, smells like it, it probably is.
Oh God, it's hilarious thought that though, isn't it?
I can't see. To be honest, if Duncan Ferguson had gone on a rampage, there'd be more casualties.
Yeah, there would, wouldn't there?
There's definitely been more casualties. He's got previous, but I don't think it's for smashing bars. I think it's for chinning people left, right, and centre. So.
There was a bugle and brass everywhere.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah.
You would have thought that if somebody had a reputation for smashing up boozers, that somebody would have heard about it or written about it at some point.
Yeah, they got
smashing up boozers.
Oh, I got GBH.
They've got previous.
Come here, love. Come here. Let me smash you up. Yeah, I've pissed myself when someone put that.
Can I have me one phone call? I want me one phone call. I need to see my brief.
I mean, that is a shame because the quality content we got out of Old Gravel Voice.
I know. He was old disc beard. He had a good disc beard on him, didn't he? I'll give him that. But yeah,
I think he was more into looking like he's sat in a pub, wanted than smashing it up. He used to like pretending that people looked like celebrities and stuff. That was his big thing.
Yeah. Well, there is a pub.
It's a weird thing to be into.
Yeah,
he did it in a press conference, didn't he? He said, "Oh,
Yeah, he did.
Have you never played Lucky Likeys? And it's brilliant. Yeah.
Lucky Likeys.
Yeah.
Well, there is that Sean Dyche pub. I'm just quickly trying to Google it.
It's right up there with I Spy.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's the Royal Dyche in Burnley.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen to that now. That's
have to rename it, won't they?
Yeah.
Royal Mee.
Royal Mee.
Yeah, the
Royal. Yeah.
Have you seen the picture of it as well? It's hilarious. That's the actual pub name. That's
brilliant.
Yeah, somebody commented on that story and said apparently this is from the same source that said James Rodriguez had a sex change. Did you see that story?
That was true. That was true. That though.
Is it?
Yeah.
No.
I'm not quite hot to be fair.
Yeah, he was. Sam's been away for too long.
I know. I'm gonna say,
Sam's been in the
Poor
Navy.
pig in a frock. He'd be all over it.
Yeah. Anything with long hair, mate.
Scene over. Hey mate, how are you going? Paid off by the Everton owners.
I've a dodgy account now, aren't
And McAllister Bishop says something daft like they've given Dyche 25 million over all the seasons he's been in the Prem. Madness if that's true. It was 22 million, wasn't it? Net. And apparently they've got he's got a 15 million pound clause, payoff clause in his contract.
Think of all the pints I can get with that.
Yeah. He got nearly as much money to walk away than he did being there for 10 years or something.
That's what I mean.
Oh my God. That's
stupid. Bandy. Good to see you, Bandy. Sean Dyche knew too much to get relegated. And to sack him with no replacement, it seems dumb to me. Yeah.
Massively dumb.
I just read that as like he knew too much.
Yeah.
He knows where the bodies are buried.
But to be honest, it's a mistake by them that's hopefully going to benefit us. So more of it.
Still be funny if they overtook Everton though.
Yeah, I know. I wouldn't mind Everton going down, to be honest.
So moving on then, Marcelo Bielsa, thank you ad. I'll just try and find that. So some supporters took out an ad in a newspaper, and looks like that. So much effort. You see the effort I'm putting into this production here with Google search. There you go. Thank you, Marcelo. Nice, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was beautiful.
Any thoughts?
To be honest, I was reading that. I think I was reading it on Sunday morning, so I had quite a heavy one on Saturday night. I had a big barbecue around here and feeling quite emotional, and just reading that, tears in my eyes, because you're reading it and agreeing with it all, and to say that's a gesture from Leeds fans. Do we even know who it was yet?
It was a group of them, wasn't it?
Yeah. Do we know who it was? It's been released. I just know it was a group of Leeds fans. But what an incredible gesture that is, and it's something that he's probably more than likely going to see. You know, he'll have every paper going. It's one of the main ones in Rosario, wasn't it? Or the main ones in Argentina. So he'll love that, because obviously you have to bear with me. I've been away for a while, obviously, and when Bielsa got sacked, I wasn't sure. But did he actually come out with anything say, like a little iPhone note message like all the players do when they leave a club? Nothing like that.
He was just crying basically.
Yeah.
Saying goodbye. Everybody was saying goodbye to him, and it's
so
not particularly nice. Because of course you went away, and since you've been away, the wars began, and
some shit's gone down since I've gone.
Right, and Bielsa's left.
It's a lot has gone on, but he'll absolutely love that, won't he? Bielsa, he'll read that, and you can tell he'll have a tear in his eye looking at that, because just proves how much he means to us. And was that a front page as well?
No, I think in the paper, wasn't it?
And
it was an ad in the paper.
Still, absolutely incredible. I'll love seeing that.
So it must have been weird for you, Wardy, like only being able to check your phone for half an hour a day or whatever. Yeah. So you've sort of seen, you've looked at your phone. Bielsa's been sacked or whatever, and then you've had to go back to your ninja obstacle course.
My obstacle course. Well, that's it. I've just been thinking about it all day, and obviously you don't get much time to think because you're always doing stuff. But it was playing on my mind all day because I'd read it, and then someone told me, because it was just as it was coming through. I hadn't really had a chance to look at it. I looked, and it was kind of rumours at the time, and then I was like, it's not been confirmed. I think people like TalkSport and all that other outlets were talking about it first, weren't they? And then Leeds finally released it. I was just all day, I was kind of in the back of my mind just thinking I was just really quite upset about it. And like most people were, you just miss him so much, don't you? You miss him at the club. But it was such a strange feeling just having to just mull on that all day, not really know for certain if he'd actually left or not. But it's still miss him a lot, man. There's a lot to take, isn't it? Someone like that, someone so big, someone so had so much so much say in the club, and he's just gone now, and it was emotional.
Okay, here it is. The English translation then. Put it up on the screen. We stood in the August 2018 sun mesmerised by football we didn't know was possible, and we felt something again. You reminded us that football can be beautiful and that a team can be greater than the sum of its parts, side before self. And you gave us so much more than football. You took us through a pandemic and brought us together while we were all apart. You showed us that integrity and decency matter in good times and bad. You embraced our fears and turned our despair into hope and our footballers into heroes. You improved us all. You restored our pride, gave us joy, and created precious memories that will last a lifetime. And it was beautiful, Marcelo, and it will always be so very beautiful. Thank you.
That's lovely, isn't it? That's what I mean. He's done so much more than just manage a club, hasn't he? He's done an incredible amount for everything, for everyone, and he genuinely has made everyone better people. You think about stuff a bit differently now, and it's amazing to have a manager who's done that. A football manager, they've got no right to be instilling them sort of beliefs on you, but he did, and that's just the sort of person he is, and he'll forever be a legend at Leeds, that's for sure. And I think the players owe a lot to him as well. People like, especially Calvin Phillips, going from a player that I would have happily seen sold, to be honest, over Ronaldo Vieira, and turning him into one of the best central midfielders in England. So the players will be sad to see him go, but I'm sure their joints and their brains won't, because they'll be knackered after all that, won't they? Imagine 3 or 4 years of that. Bless him.
Okay, so moving on then. There was a leaked kit.
Oh dear.
That's Ewan's face.
It's definitely one for you. And what do you think about that, Ewan?
I can't even speak. I mean, what the fuck? Honestly, if that goes anywhere near, it's like a surfing top, like waterproof thing that you wear to go surfing, like a darts top. It's like
a beach towel,
washing machine advert. All rolled into one. It's just shit, isn't it? I mean, if it was on the side of a Surf Liquitabs or Routine Tabs box or whatever, you'd think that's quite nice. On a Leeds kit, are you joking me? I mean, listen, a lot of these Leeds ones, thankfully, they're not real, but honestly, if people buy, if their top like that comes out, and if people buy it, they'll get away with anything that they want from now on in, because that is absolutely it's disgusting.
It really is.
It has 0 redeeming features, none whatsoever.
The only thing I can say that's half decent is the yellow band around the sleeves. That's about it. But if it was all that colour, I'd be happy. But what is it's you put it right there, a surf advert or something like that. It looks like a Liquid Tab advert. Yeah, that's
It's
spot on,
awful.
actually.
It's just dreadful. Honestly,
It's like a shit version of that bus seat one we had. It's like a worse version of that.
Yeah,
and that was terrible.
It's making my eyes hurt. Well, that's the thing is they brought that one out, which I thought was terrible, but the kids liked it. My kids both loved it. They brought the red one out, which I hated, and I don't know how well it's done. It'd be interesting to find out how well that's done. I remember Kinnear saying to us at the time that yellow kits don't sell. They're all concept kits. The grey and pink one was, I think, still the best-selling shirt they've ever made. I'm not sure I believe a lot of this.
No.
I think they just ply you with a load of bloody propaganda.
I've never seen anyone not say they want a yellow shirt. Everyone, literally every single Leeds fan I speak to, every Leeds fan I see on Twitter, they all want a yellow away shirt. So where's this coming from that no one wants it? It's bollocks, isn't it?
Well, it says they don't sell in the numbers that like your concept kits sell. I can see that they're attracting a younger and probably a more diverse audience. If they get, I think it's just been leading up to the fact. Yeah.
It's a yellow kit.
No, fuck off. Sam has just said that Bielsa's made us think different. Now, fuck the diversity. I'm not interested in other people.
Big U-turn.
Girls playing football. Yeah, well, that's the thing. Even Bielsa's kind of, kind of philosophy and life, the way of living your life in a very righteous and pure fashion can be completely divided by a shit football kit, and that's amongst one of the worst ones I've seen. I mean, it's awful. The thing that's worrying is it's a bit like some of the American-y type kits. It's very American in its design, and it's and that worries me somewhat because that's probably what we're going to look forward to.
Yeah, it's the way the club's going, isn't it? But yeah, you're right. It is a lot like MLS shirts, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a lot of them. Yeah, awful. I'm not buying it. But then again, I've had the conversation before. I don't think they design shirts for people like me. How many times have we done this podcast? Hundreds. I don't think I've ever worn a Leeds shirt. I don't think I own a Leeds shirt. I've got socks and shorts when I used to play five-a-side and sometimes for the beach when I'm away or just lolling around the house, whatever. But
Did your brother, did he not give you a Leeds shirt one time?
Yeah. My brother gave me when I was 30, the one that Sam's got on, I think was the one that we wore in, when I was 30? Jesus, that long ago. That's the thing. But 20 years ago, that'd be right then, won't it?
Yeah. 2001, 2002.
Yeah. 2001, 2, I would have worn that shirt that Wardy's got on. It had UE 30 on the back that my brother bought me. And I was saying to my kids the other day, we were in somewhere, and the Gary Speed blue that was quite out there at the time. The sort of navy blue with like the yellow and white sparkles down the shoulder.
Yeah.
I had the Admiral one. I had one of them. I think I had the old Peacock one from way back. That's as much as I can remember. Like I said, I've always bought shorts and socks to play, and I never. Few training tops. I had the 1972 Centenary FA Cup tracksuit top. I've had some of that, but I'm not really into tops. You know what I mean? I think I always said it's there for players, really.
Yeah.
Let the players wear them and what have you, and fat lads who go watch the football who look awful in them. So.
Yeah, I hope that's not real, to be honest.
The sort of blokes, I think football shirts generally, apart from present company accepted, obviously, are for the kind of blokes who do their ironing on a wok. With a big beer belly.
I like that. What do you reckon to it, Donny? Do you like it?
What, this darts league one?
Yeah.
I think I'm with you in here. I think it very much looks like a washing up powder branding.
If they launch that with the body form music in the background, you wouldn't be at all surprised.
No. Perfect surf.
Oh, we've got the designer in the chat. It's amazing.
Oh, behave. Oh, body form for you.
Yeah, it's
Nora knows.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just
Like I say,
horrible,
it
she
has
says.
no singular redeeming features. That's
Yeah.
all.
No, you're right.
We may
Not
have
one.
a shirt with dragons on you see weird folk wearing on holiday, says McAllister Bishop. And Mikey 3D Media says, it's beautiful, give over. So there you go. No, not for me. Not for me. It looks, it really does look like darts or 10-pin bowling, and I hope it's not.
This is the problem, though. There's people out there going to like that, and this is just encouraging them. If we all just shut down, no, we want white and blue and yellow, and that's it. You can do some brilliant things with those three colours.
Yeah.
You can have little patterns on. You could do the camo ones. You can do ones with a slight pattern on, or mess about with the neck and the arms and the way it fastens, and still make it great. Don't start dicking about with bloody body form, washing powder shirts.
There you go. Looks like an Aussie shirt, says Nicholas Griffin. Of course, we're going to Australia, apparently. Pre-season tour.
Another one.
Sense.
Yeah.
To be fair, when I lived there and I used to go and watch the games with Melbourne Whites, they all used to wear shirts like that, so it's pretty spot on that.
Yeah. I agree.
Not being funny. If you're going to take your fashion lead from any country, fucking not Australia. Some of the worst, best people I've ever met.
They still have mullets, for fuck's sake.
Mullets, vests, shit shorts, and flip flops. I mean, get out.
Yeah. Call it the wife beater, don't they? And they call flip flops thongs. I mean, I spent 10 years there. I can't agree with you more, Ewan. Mark Reed or Ride, I'm not sure how you say that. It's still better. It's still better than the lilac. And Mikey 3D Media says, "Okay, what about the lilac?"
Yeah,
at least it's plain.
They're all shit.
Yeah, I don't like the colour of it, but at least it's not a lot going on. There's too much going on that horrible bus seat one.
When did they play in the lilac one the other day? Was it the Watford game?
Yeah,
it was. Yeah,
I saw it and I thought, it grew on me a bit. I felt really weak saying it because my mantra never changes. I've always hated the bus seat one, hated the red one, claret one, whatever. Hated that one, and I must admit, I thought it looks quite nice actually on somebody with a suntan like Rafinha or somebody with that skin colour, and
especially when we're 3-0 up.
That's the thing. You know what? It's like if you won an FA Cup final in that, you'd like it, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
that's the difference.
100%.
Listen, it's just encouraging them. They're not nice. It's just it's almost like you get used to how poor they've been, and that looks slightly better than some of the other poor ones. I mean that green and blue. This is the thing. The green and blue striped one, like the Brian Dean Thistle Hotel. That was a great kit. The blue one from this year, my kids have got, looks brilliant. So I'm not against all modern kits. You could say I'm just a traditionalist and out of touch, but some of them are dreadful. I mean, but yeah, nothing surprises me anymore. But don't encourage them, man.
I love it. I'm buying it, Ewan, says Wiggy.
Of course you are, Wiggy. Goes with your eyes, mate.
Let's do one with Bielsa's face on to intimidate our opponents, says McAllister Bishop. I've said it before, we have always done our best in a yellow away kit, says Bandit.
I mean, the one you've got on.
Right, yeah. I mean, that's why I put it on today.
Yeah.
Don't mention the lilac shirt when Ewan is here.
Any shirt, I'm bored in that. I hate him.
There you go. There you can see it.
Yeah, that's the one.
Get a shirt like this.
I like the collar on it as well.
None of this like piss yellow, or when you've drank too much Lucasade and you
or Barocca or something.
No, yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Yeah. What's the colour palette they go to for some of these shirts now, though? What are they looking at?
Barocca piss, I think. Yeah.
They're looking at their bank account and they're thinking, I've really got to justify this wage that I'm getting to be a graphic designer.
Yeah.
They must be paying people millions and millions of pounds to come up with it. It's like, what? Monkey piss yellow, Barocca piss yellow,
platinum, not grey.
Yeah. Awful, man.
It was charcoal, wasn't it? Charcoal.
Charcoal, yeah.
God, that was so weird. Charcoal and neon pink. There you go. So we had a comment last week. and I guess this one's for you, Big Mac. They thought you were younger, 20 years younger by the sound of your voice.
I took that as a positive.
Hey, that's all right. That
I was called nerdy.
Yeah.
Skinny and nerdy. He said that's how my voice sounds like. So he pretty much got me right.
Bang on.
But he imagined Barney to be short and chubby.
He's 5'11", he was saying, wasn't he?
I said, what wide? He said, I'm 5'11". I went, what wide, you little fat tubby get?
Oh, yeah. Was that last week someone commented?
That was my fault. That was my fault, really, because he made a comment that something along the lines of, I'd kind of built up a picture of you in my... Yeah, there you go.
I've always listened to the podcasts. This video has ruined my mind's image of what you all look like. I totally got it wrong.
And I shan't be listening again.
Yes. I made a comment back about just how disappointed were you? Like you want to know. Yeah, when you read a book, well, that's I invited the insult in us, so yeah. So I sort of said, how disappointed were you then? Because what did you imagine is looking like? Because when you read a book, I compare it to when you read a book. When you listen to something on an audio, when you read a book, you build up a picture. I was using the example of the beach. I read The Beach before I saw the film, obviously, because the book's miles better. And I was in Thailand when I read it, and I built up these pictures. And, the main character didn't look like Leonardo DiCaprio. The loony one, Scottish one, didn't look like, what's he called? The guy out of Trainspotting. Anyway.
Ewan McGregor.
No, the other guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway. I'm getting old. He's right. I am old. I can't remember names anymore. But
Robert Carlyle.
Robert Carlyle. That's him.
Yeah, that's him.
You kind of didn't imagine people to look like that, and I sort of made that point, and of course invited one of the sort of most collective and hurting insults that this podcast's ever had.
Really, isn't it?
And that's saying something.
And we've had a few, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So Ewan said, what do you mean? Slim. Were you disappointed? He said, never said disappointed. To be fair, Adonis, I got quite right. Pictured slim with glasses, basically nerdy. Cheers, pal. Big Mac, about 20 years younger. There you go, Ewan. You look old, even though I've heard the stories in brackets. And Barney, short and chubby.
Still by no means disappointed.
Right,
I think Barney got it worse.
Yeah. But I mean, just even when we're getting compliments, it's backhanded, isn't it?
I felt quite honoured that my voice and obviously the way I talk and carry on sounds a lot younger than I really am. I still got
take that, mate.
Youthful enthusiasm. I'll take that. But then as soon as he saw me, I thought, Jesus, he's old.
Fucking
and then
do you know what a computer is?
Yeah, it's old as time, that lad. What's going on? And if you listen to any of my stories and things I talk, you've got to be able to put an age on me, which is well above 40. So, yeah.
Oh, like, you've got a PlayStation headset on. He was like, "Will the granddad know what a PlayStation is?"
Yeah, it's my grandson's. It's my grandson's, mate.
So
keep those comments coming and keep the love coming.
Yeah, we love it, man. I like a bit of that. I like a bit of honest opinion.
Yeah, that's good enough.
I like to give them out. If you give it out, you've got to be able to take it, haven't you?
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly, mate.
Right. We've only got to 43 minutes. We've got to fill 17 minutes. It's really difficult when we don't play games.
Wardy's got one.
Well, it's Stuart Dallas's birthday today.
That's
I just wanted to, say happy birthday. And genuinely is probably my favourite player at the club. For just how he carries himself. Just how he is. What he went through when he had that dip in form and spoke very openly about it. I always love hearing him in interviews before and after games. I think he speaks really well. And my missus, all her family are Northern Irish, so they love Stuart Dallas as well. And he's a big player for them. So just an all-round great guy. And he's some of the goals he scored for us. There was a bit of a montage on the club's Twitter. I don't know if anyone saw it, but. Some of the goals he scored are such important goals. Some really good ones in there as well. Some of them annoyingly didn't count. There was that one against Scum, wasn't there? It was an absolute worldie of a goal, but didn't count for fuck all because it was 6-2 in the end.
If we'd have won that game,
yeah, a bit like Luke Aylin's one against Scum as well, isn't it? But
yeah,
just such a top bloke. I hope he's at the club for many more years because he's obviously provides a lot in the dressing room. I think he's one of the senior management sort of in the team, isn't he? And just top bloke. Happy birthday to him. I don't know how old he is. He didn't actually say.
31.
31. Oh, he's still got a few years in him, hasn't he? For sure. But he's just such an energizing guy, and just to watch him run up and down the wing,
Plumber, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think wasn't he a labourer? I think he was a labourer, like a bricklayer's labourer, hoying bricks about.
That's why I'll be fit then. Jesus Christ.
I
did that for a job. It's one of the hardest jobs I've ever done. Not that I've ever done. I've done many hard jobs, but that was hard work. That.
To be a grafter, yeah. He's always been a grafter. They love him in Cookstown, don't
they? Yeah. And in Cookridge, where he was born, of course.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I just, as we're on the subject, Sam's covered it brilliantly, but yeah, great bloke and sort of typified what he was, a typical Bielsa player in as much that Bielsa picked him up, I've got to be honest, pretty unforgettable, didn't notice him in games a lot of the time, and Bielsa made him into something different, and he responded obviously to that coaching and delivered some of the best performances I've seen in the Leeds shirt, some of the most uplifting performances in the season we got promoted and the first season back in the Premier League. And like you say, scored some. I mean, he was never renowned for scoring goals, whatever he kind of got up to, but he was. And he'll play anywhere for you, won't he? Play him in goal, he'd still be man at match. And the number of times, like when I think back to when we did the Man City podcast, when we beat him, with 10 men, and he scored that cracking goal right at the end. And
that was us, wasn't it? Wasn't that us?
Yeah, it was us three. I mean, it was us three that did it, and I just think back to that and think how much sort of joy he filled your heart with it, and when he was reeling away, that kind of iconic image of him, kind of. Everybody come with me to the corner flag. Brilliant. And, many happy returns. And like you say, I would never have anticipated, before Bielsa that he would have been here when he was 31 and had the success that he'd had with the club. So happy birthday, Stuart Dallas. And whether he's here for many more years to come or not is I think it's debatable. But I think he's given us plenty of great servant. And he don't miss. Think about him, which is astonishing, really. He's hardly missed a game, has he? I mean, you sort of look at his, is it 260-ish or 50-ish appearances? And he started 212. I reckon most of those non-starts must have been prior to Bielsa, because since Bielsa's been here, he seems to have played every game, and he got injured 2 or 3 times. He thought he won't be back next week, and he was back. He certainly don't. Probably a typical Northern Irish trait. He don't make excuses, and he don't look to avoid things, does he? He'll meet it head on, and if he's half fit, he'll play. If he's quarter fit, he'll play. If he can get out there and do a job, he'll play. And that's his honesty. His honesty is refreshing.
It is, yeah.
246 appearances, I think.
Wow, not far from 250 then. Big one.
He's played in every Premier League game for Leeds United.
Wow.
Since we got promoted, obviously. I was 21 when I first signed for Bradford.
That was pretty good, actually.
It's really difficult.
I know you.
I'm not going to butcher his accent on his birthday.
Oh, and you butchered everybody else's. Why not his?
When I left school, I was working for a family. I was labouring most of the time. It's so bad.
Go on.
I was learning my trade as a joiner and playing at a good standard in Northern Ireland.
Oh, he's a joiner as well. Good man.
There you go. So that's what he was doing. I was happy enough earning money through football and making money working as well. I'd still have been doing that today and knocking about with my mates. But thankfully at that time, Brentford signed me. This is terrible. I've got to stop.
It's not getting worse. It started off quite well. Then it suddenly went a bit Cornwall.
South African.
Indian.
Getting slow, yeah. It won't be long before it's Raj out of the shop in The Simpsons, will it?
Yeah, I love him even more now. I know he used to be a joiner. So
I know. Do you know what? That's what it is. I've just worked it out. That's why you've had to have a shave, because you've modelled yourself on him. You've become a joiner. You grew a beard. You know,
yeah, no.
Going for
I love him.
He's a very lovable character and very likable, and I identify with him. I think a lot of people identify with him, don't you? Because he's quite humble and good
hardly ever smiles.
No.
Yeah,
there
was for about 2 years until we got promoted. For about 2 years, he looked like he was just miserable all the time.
Yeah, he did today.
Like somebody just told him like his friends died or his dogs died or something. He's just got that face like
probably the wrong phrase to use.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Oh.
Donny's put his skinny, nerdy foot right into it.
Terrible. Because that's right. His friend did die, didn't he?
Yes, he did, yes.
Oh dear.
That was why he had lost form for a little bit. But hey,
fully.
Let's talk about that.
No, but you do forget these things. You do forget these things because, I mean, there's so much to think about anyway. But when you see, like, it's very shallow and fickle sensation, especially being on social media, and just hearing the absolute abuse that footballers get. And you do tend to forget that they have these personal lives, and there's so much kind of going on in their lives behind the scenes that there might be one of any number of reasons why a player might be out of form. That's what I think about Rafinha as well. Like, you know, all that stuff came out about him having agreed contract terms with Barcelona or whatever, and in the games before that, he looked like his head wasn't in the game at all. So yeah, it does feel like that. But sorry,
he's had a baby, and you know, it's like Ronaldo now. I mean, I don't like the fella. I think he's a pretty unlikable, complete opposite to Dallas. But you know, he's just lost a child, and you know, he's probably going to face abuse. And you get people who've got their own lives that are going on behind the scenes, and people only ever see them on that dance floor, don't they? And kind of assume that you can put all that to bed and turn up on a Saturday and Sunday and you know, be man of the match every week. It's a bit like a football manager FIFA cards, these pack things that my kids get, where you know, you're all a stat, you're all a kind of, oh, he's 96 pace and he's this and that, and if you're just not having a good week, well, listen, we've all got lives. You've seen some of the stories of depression, and you think about Paul Stewart and you know, other players that had played their whole careers, you know, black players who got racially abused and were playing at a club where their own fans kind of abused them. You know, again, Paul Stewart and others who've been at, you know, Crew or whatever and been abused by coaches. You know, they're turning up week in, week out, and we're just expecting to sort of switch it all off and, you know, perform for like circus, you know, like a circus animal, and forget they've got feelings and have their own lives they've got to contend with before they get out on the field. So it sort of brings it home, doesn't it? It reminds you that there's things going on beyond football, that sometimes football's not the priority for any of us, is it? You've got other things going on that are far more important, and it's probably the same in some ways for the players right now, don't they?
Yeah.
Ronaldo's a weird one because, I mean, I don't know if you have, but I've read the kind of the witness report from that the woman who made the claim that he'd raped her, and that, like her testimony is so kind of shocking, I think, and I really don't feel like it's been addressed very well from him, for example. Just pay the money and then forget about it. But it's just another one of those weird things where I saw that tweet that he put out that his son had died, and then you see all of the different clubs, you know, Leeds, Man City, you know, and then all of the kind of public figures like Gary Lineker and all of these people, just thousands and thousands of people retweet it and send messages and of support. And of course, he's not actually going to read all of those messages, you know what I mean? But it's all in the public eye. And obviously that's a horrible thing to happen to him. But I do feel it is really weird, this idea of celebrity and it being out there. And I don't know him and I've got nothing to do with him. And neither of most of these other people either.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean that. But yeah, it's just like you've said, it's sometimes it's weird, isn't it? Because sometimes when something bad happens, I know with the old Mason Greenwood thing, I know none of it's actually gone through the courts yet or anything like that, but if it does, will anyone come out and say, that's an awful thing, or will it just get brushed under the carpet like it usually does? It seems a bit wrong sometimes that stuff like that is just forgotten about, and of course what's happened to his son is horrible, but he's got previous to being a very, very shady man and not very nice man, but yeah, it's just weird what you hear about and what you read about when you dig into stuff. When you dig into it a bit more, you realize people aren't what they're like. That are these high profile characters, but that's social media, isn't it? Really,
gift and a curse, mate. Gift and a curse.
Yeah,
use it for your famedom. You use it to make multi-million pounds, but it's a curse as well, isn't it? I think that's the thing with the media generally, and it's been like that for as long as I can remember. You think back to watch the I don't know if you've been watching the Gaza documentary.
No, I don't know.
On at the moment, and that kind of build him up to knock him down, and then Piers Morgan's on saying, another despicable character. He kind of knocked himself down. Really, we were just there to capture it, but they were plying people with drinks in nightclubs. Apparently, some reporters when he was like at the Pomp, the sort of height of his fame. Plying other lads in nightclubs with beer and then saying go over and, cause a scene with Gaza. There's lots of rumours, hacking his phone. It's just how it's like anything, isn't it? How any of these things are allowed to happen is beyond me. How the media are allowed to get away with that kind of stuff. But it's like anything, they use it to build themselves up, and you could say rightly so. That's the way they get the celebrity out there and they make their money. But it can come crashing down around them pretty quickly with these people, can't it? Because ultimately all they're after is, we talked about TalkSport the other week, and we're after a sensationalist story, aren't we? And that's what they're in the market for. Ronaldo's no different, but I don't like him. I think he's a horrible man, but he still won't wish anybody losing a child, and nobody knows whether or not some of these accusations are true or not. Until they come out or they're proved guilty, found guilty in a court of law, then I guess that they're also targets for people making accusations about them as well, hoping they can get some money out of them.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Unless you're there, the only people who are going to know is him, the girl, Mason Greenwood, and the girl. Which, fortunately, she's been savvy enough to capture him live on video, which doesn't. It's sort of almost, usually
irrefutable.
Yeah, exactly. Innocent before proven guilty, but in his case, it doesn't seem like he's got a leg to stand on, does it? But
no. Had a whole bunch of things to say, but I watched that Gaza documentary too, and I tweeted about it this week, and I sort of said, Gaza he had the talent of Messi, the personality of Alioski, and the thirst of Father Jack Hackett, who I don't know if you're not familiar with Father Ted, but if you are, then he was the old guy in the chair who was like, drunk, and they had to give him another bottle of whiskey. But he was pushed. He was absolutely pushed, and he was, put out on a pedestal, but not looked after at all, really. And all of those journalists who were kind of following him and using sort of almost like Secret Service methods to wiretap his phones, but also, surround him and make sure that he got himself into trouble. They could have looked after him. They could have changed the script on his life, but they were so invested that they had a profit could be made off his mistakes and his downfall. It's horrible.
Yeah, it's quite a vulnerable person though as well.
Yeah.
It's not like they've picked on a. If you look at somebody, I don't know, say Beckham maybe, like somebody who's a bit more privileged, you look at people who've come from a reasonable background, say like Bamford, the Bamford character is probably quite strong and have other options in life. Football was all Gascoigne had, and he was vulnerable from a young age. Again, watching his mate get killed, and I reckon he's got some quite serious mental health, with OCD definitely, possibly, I won't say autism, but some sort of issues around his kind of the way he behaved sometimes wasn't very helpful to his own personality, to his own reputation and so on. And he definitely had some traits that suggested he had some wider problems, but nobody bothered to look at that. They just labelled him a clown and so on. And it's not helpful, really, I don't think.
I mean, what I found quite duplicitous on social media this week was, there were certain people who were like, Rads came out, right? And he was like, go Elon, buy Twitter, you can do it, buddy. And I was sort of saying, I think that's a bit dodgy that you're sort of defending that. And then somebody else was like, oh, but, Elon Musk is doing it for free speech. I think, it's just a bit weird. Like, I've seen people defending Mason Greenwood. I mean, what can you really not say on Twitter at the moment that you'd like to? It's just ridiculous. And then there's people who are like, oh, you can't criticize Ronaldo or whatever. But then they'll be sort of talking about, Priti Patel and saying, oh, this is a great thing, send them all to Rwanda. It has been doing my head in a bit this week, Twitter.
Yeah, I know. It's been full on, hasn't it?
Yeah,
there's quite a lot I don't say, to be honest, on Twitter. I should say.
I don't really interact on Twitter because you start getting interactive with some people and some of the comments. Even just when I'm looking at just someone's mad opinion, and you look at the comments, people backing him up, I'm just like, you can choose to get involved or not, and I just don't bother. I just don't think, what is the point of getting involved with idiots like that about some things you see on there.
Do you think it's been better for your mental health to be restricted to only using your phone for half an hour?
Massively, mate, massively. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I've not been much on Twitter anyway. Like, I'm on Twitter, but I don't tweet much. As you'll see, people that follow me, I'm not a big tweeter, but no, it definitely has, and it really kind of made you have more conversations with people that you wouldn't have normally, and that's kind of why they do it, because they want you to chat to people more. But no, definitely, not being involved on it and not caring about what's happening as much, obviously with Leeds and family. But apart from that, I'm not just endlessly scrolling because I'm bored. It's nice to not have to do that, to be honest. Yeah, I'd recommend it.
So there you go. That's
you have to talk to people. What the fuck?
I know, it's mental, isn't it? Have conversations.
That's just cruel, that, mate.
I mean, I have seen studies where people have discussed issues with people face to face who have like binary oppositional discourses, i.e., like the complete opposite opinion on a topic, whether it's refugees or whatever. And because you can sort of look into someone's eyes and hear the tone of their voice and hear their intent, there is a big difference, I think. I think there's a lot that you would put on social media that you wouldn't actually say to someone's face, for example.
100%,
yeah. No, I can't agree with them all. Having like sensible conversations and learning from it is good, but on Twitter it's just not like that, is it? You're shouting your point of view, and you can't get tone, you can't get a bit of meaning from what you're saying. It's just however you type it is however they take it. So having actual conversations is a lot better.
Right.
But then people might think I'm 20 years younger, so fuck it. Every cloud.
So a few of your comments then. It went all the way back to when we were talking about the Leeds kit, which feels like happier times.
That was another podcast, wasn't
it? Particular episode.
Hell yeah. It was a long time ago.
Monkey Piss Yellow. Yeah. Is that Pantone? Says Hannah Brad, McAllister Bishop, Barocca Urine Yellow, and Hannah says faces for radio, which we most certainly have.
Cheers, mate.
Happy birthday to the Englishman Stuart Dallas, and he's going to leave the club if he watches this, which is probably, if he listens to my attempt at a Northern Irish accent, then I couldn't agree more.
He won't know you're doing a Northern Irish accent. He'll just be like, "What accent's that?"
Yeah. What mix of accents is that?
What was he trying to do here? It sounds like my quote in the paper, but why is he doing it in a South African accent?
Stuart Dallas and Liam Cooper strike me as the depressives of the club. Every club needs characters like that. They keep everybody else in check. Very serious, isn't he, Coops, at times?
Yeah.
Very serious.
He is, yeah, he's captain, isn't he? Got to lead by example.
He certainly is. Colin says, congrats, Wardy. What are you doing in phase 2?
Oh, thank you, Colin. Mine warfare is what I'm doing. So, hunting for sea mines and unexploded bombs from previous conflicts. So, yeah, it'd be quite a cool job, hopefully.
Might be finding some from current conflicts if you're not.
Well, that's the thing. After Ukraine, I think I'll be a lot based a lot around there trying to find them. So,
are you going to wear one of these enormous like Michelin Man suits? Like
no. Would it be? Luckily, you just send out like little drones and stuff to do it. So it's I won't come anywhere near them. I'll be safe. Don't worry, mate.
Okay,
I know. I can see you were worried. Don't worry.
I am worried about my Wardy.
Nah, don't worry about it. I'll be fine.
I am worried about you. I worry about everybody. I worry way too much. Yeah, ever since I stopped smoking marijuana, I've discovered worrying. So can't seem to stop. Bit like Hannah Brad here. My phone is glued to my hand. It's horrific. It's the same with me. That's why I'm so thin. Yeah, just worrying all the time about everything.
Worrying yourself thin. Fucking hell.
I should worry more.
So should Barney.
I don't worry about. Oh yeah, Barney should start worrying. Me and Barney should definitely start worrying more.
So, Mac, I wanted to talk about this.
Yeah.
Here you go. Niccolo Machiavelli quotes.
Oh yeah, beautiful. Yeah.
It's better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both.
I've got a version of that. It's better to be feared than respected, but it's better to be respected than liked. There you go.
Oh.
Hence why I've got the nickname. Because usually when you come out with a quote, I've usually got my own version of it, and I didn't know I knew there was a Machiavelli quote, something similar, but I didn't know it. I didn't look it up before I came out with mine. Yeah.
This one I love. It is double pleasure to deceive the deceiver.
Ooh.
It's not half.
Pleasure.
Double pleasure.
It's the opposite of kind of you can't kid a kidder, isn't it?
I've been getting single pleasure.
One who deceives will always find those who allow themselves to be deceived.
Yeah. Well, look, if you're wanting, where is it? I've got it here. Here you are. This is the book. If you're going to read a Machiavelli book, the one. I'm always doing books. I'm like some.
You are, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. The Prince by Niccolo Machiavelli, which is it's about kind of I don't know how you kind of advise takeovers of states by kind of its like the dignitaries of Venice and Rome and stuff like that. I'm not describing it very well, but it's very deep and meaningful and slightly dark.
Oh, just like yourself.
Indeed.
Just like the man you're about to meet in your future. With great power comes great responsibility. Spider-Man,
yeah,
says
exactly.
McAllister Bishop.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, are we supposed to know how to read, says Hannah. Yeah. I think that'll be a good start before you get into books. I've got a book that I've started reading.
Oh,
there you go.
See the bottom half of Donny there. Shit.
I didn't know he had one.
No, just floating top half.
There you go.
The changing
That's why I started reading. But I did see a tweet that Ray Dalio, he's a financial advisor, but I did see a tweet that he should be classed as a foreign agent because he spends so much time in China. So I'm not so. I feel like I haven't got the whole picture. But I do think that's a quality of mine in general, that I will try to read as many different perspectives as possible before I make up my mind.
Definitely. Well-read man, aren't you?
I try to be, mate. I try to be. I mean, I saw this thing about Rwanda and I was just so shocked. Like, what? Rwanda, what?
You know what it is with the Tories? The Tories remind me of, like when the Russians started moving out of Kiev and moving out of Ukraine.
Right. Mm-hmm.
obviously there was horrific stories about them doing as much damage on their way out and killing civilians and shooting dogs, and there's all these kind of horrific and blood-curdling kind of stories about how they were. The Tories remind me of them. The less power they get and the more they get closer to an exit from power, it seems to me like they're hell-bent on trying to do as much damage to everybody around them as they possibly can. It's exactly the same analogy in a different way, but, you know, sending people to Rwanda, you know, energy and fuel prices going, all the cost of living stuff, just everything, you know, the economy being damaged as it is. It's crazy. Yeah.
Getting them in.
Bastards there.
Yeah.
Woody, can I ask, right? Now, you're part of the Navy now, right?
Yeah.
So you technically, now, do you work for the Queen or for the government?
The Queen, technically, is my boss, I'd say, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you have a
But
word?
she doesn't really do anything, though, does she?
No, she doesn't, mate, no.
Less and less these days.
Yeah.
So it's basically Boris. So now, my question is, are you able to criticise the Tories and the government, seeing as though you're now like working for them?
Yeah, I'd say so, mate. Yeah, they can't expect however many tens of thousands there are working for the military to.
Will there be some poor bastard in MI5 who has to listen to our podcast to make sure you're not an enemy of the state?
Yeah. Oh God, imagine that. God, they'll know our views on Derby County and Sean Dyche and everything now, won't they?
You rock up to port or whatever, and they're like, Able Seaman Ward, come into my office immediately.
You're getting downgraded to unable seaman. Yeah, nah, fuck 'em, mate. I can't expect people to like them. Bunch of wankers.
Have you got somebody on your boat called Roger the Cabin Boy?
I don't know. I'll find out when I join the boat.
And Master Bates.
Master Bates, yeah. Did have someone called Chief Bates, but
excellent.
Master, yeah. To be fair, if he was a chief in the Royal Navy Police, they're called Master. So if there is a chief in the Royal Navy Police called Chief Bates, he'll be called Master Bates. Yeah. So
there you go.
As long as he has a wash.
Yes. There we go. And carrying out his lawful duties.
And does it in a sock.
Oh dear. The levels. See how many levels we can hit on this podcast?
We've gone from Niccolo Machiavelli, the Prince, and How to Build Empires to wank socks.
Just flow so easy.
Bring it back. Plus, very easily sometimes.
Hidden shallows, all of us.
Scene over. Reading University Dawn. Is it Reading University Dawn? Of everything. I'm reading University Dawn of Everything by Davids Graeber and Wengro. Wengro. That's Master Bates.
I've lost your sight. See you.
Wengro. Fascinating read if you care for history or anthropology. There you go. So we're starting the Roaring Peacock Book Club.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
When Leeds don't play, we do a book review. That's it.
And do you think we'll beat Palace? McAllister Bishop. Bringing it back to Leeds.
Come on, this is what... God almighty, I forgot we would do a Leeds United podcast.
Yeah, well...
we don't talk about Leeds or sport, mate. You're in the wrong place. What's wrong with you?
Leeds United.
Forgot for a minute, we should probably talk about Palace. Mind you, it feels like it's still about 5 weeks away.
Well,
ages off, innit?
It is, yeah. It's still a while off.
The week on Sunday. 25th, innit?
25th, yeah. Monday the 25th.
Yeah,
wow.
8 p.m.
So that's why we're not talking about it, because it's donkeys away, innit?
Yeah, at least I'll be able to watch this one. I'll get first two. I'll get my phone for a lot longer, so I'll be able to watch this.
Having said that, I don't think we're going to do another podcast before then, so we probably could do a preview.
Hey,
let's do it. Oh, it's a bit late now, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
We just spent 25 minutes filling.
Yeah, fucking hell, we haven't we? Shit.
All right, we'll take it out in edit.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, the good old days.
Yeah. The good old days.
Where you could say what you want. You drop 50 C-bombs a pod.
Yeah. Why not?
This is the one they moved, isn't it? They moved with 3 weeks to go. Nice and easy for Leeds fans to travel to London on a Monday night.
Monday night, yeah. Still do it, won't we? Apparently, there's going to be about 15,000 at the Man City game in there. The under-23s game on Monday. So
I think it's on about 14,000 this morning. So
they're trying to get 20,000 out there for an under-23s game, which will just be mental. So
beat the record.
If any fans are going to travel to London on a Monday night and make a noise, it's going to be us Barmy lot in it. So God bless 100%. Them. I think we'll beat Palace. I think momentum now. We'll beat them.
3, 4, 5, 6. We're only 4 points behind them, and they're meant to be on this brilliant new manager season. You know, they've got Vieira as manager, and he's an odd-looking guy, isn't he? Just to say, I didn't realise he looked so odd in his playing days, but my God, he's got a round face, hasn't he?
He's got a round face.
Yeah, it's too round for my liking, that. But what we need on the form table there, don't he?
Yep, so 4 points behind Palace and Newcastle United, 3 points behind Aston Villa. So, as you say, Crystal Palace having a fantastic season.
Yeah.
Under Patrick Vieira, Conor Gallagher, Player of the Year, and, of course, Steven Gerrard.
Wow, fresh new manager.
Yeah, the new Manager of the Year award. Only 3 points. Only 3 points behind them. So Barney will be looking up this table, won't he?
Yeah.
He won't be caring about this.
No, looking at eighth. Be looking at eighth, Barney.
Yeah, eighth.
I would say out of remaining games, this is definitely a very winnable one, and I think one more win would be safe. But after that, we've got City, and we've got Arsenal, Chelsea, God, it's a hard few games, that, isn't it? Even Brighton.
I could see us getting some out of Arsenal, though. I could see us getting some out of Arsenal. I think we'll probably get beat by Chelsea and City will probably beat us. Although City now it's getting tense with the running. Will they be quite as fluid as they normally are? I mean, a few injuries coming up for them as well now at the end of the season. But I mean, you'd bet on them beating us. Chelsea just got done by Brentford 4-1.
Yeah, they did early, didn't they?
Not going to do that twice in a month, are they? Or twice in a couple of months. So, I think it's going to be tough. But I think get a win on thingy, and maybe get some at Arsenal, a draw.
Yeah, draw would be good there.
Done and dusted at you, and then you've got Brighton and Brentford last couple of games. So.
Yeah, I did. Got to say, I did watch the game against Chelsea. That Eze is back. Yeah, I know he was injured for a long time, but what a player he is for them. Yeah, he's someone that I really thought we should have got. When they said the cream of the championship when we got promoted, I really envisaged someone like him or Ben Rama, 2 players that are smashing it for their team.
West Ham got the cream of the championship.
Yeah, we didn't. But yeah, they've got some decent players. To be fair, they've got some old players as well. That whenever you think of a player who's nearly done at a team, or someone like Nketiah, you can see him going to a Palace, can't you? Someone Benteke, he's at Palace. You just think players that are just a bit tired and not sure where else to go, they all end up at Palace. But I think that's definitely a winnable game, and it'd be good to get a bit of a break, and hopefully Calvin Phillips is starting now. Him and Forshaw in centre defensive mid would be a brilliant pairing, I think.
Cooper will make a difference as well, and I think
he's
probably
brilliant.
Got that little bit of faith now with only a few games to go that they can play Joffrey up front.
Yeah,
Rodrigo's been probably the best player, certainly up there in the last 4 or 5 games. So things are sort of coming together. I feel a lot more positive now than I did a few months ago. That we might go and get something from an Arsenal, probably beat Palace, but we could get turned over by Palace, draw with Chelsea, I'll be honest with you. And I said 35, 36 ages ago that would be enough to keep you up. I think we're probably safe. I can't see Burnley, Watford getting 33 points. I mean, the goal difference for us is a concern, isn't it? So maybe another win, and I wouldn't expect them to get anywhere near that.
No. I mean, you've got to think Norwich and Burnley are down now. Norwich and Watford, sorry.
Yeah.
It's going to take another run from Burnley. So, I just think we just need to keep on this nice little run that we're on, get a draw or a win here and there, and we'll be absolutely fine. But
as poor as we've been, they're the poorest teams I've seen at Ellen Road.
Yeah, massively.
quite
even Burnley as well.
By quite a distance, yeah.
Yeah. What do you reckon, Donny? How do you reckon that'll go, Palace?
It's difficult, isn't it? Because they almost got to an FA Cup final, and I don't think they played too bad against Chelsea.
No,
but it can always go one of two ways, can't it? It can kind of free you up, and you think, okay, we can focus on the league, and they're just focusing all their energy on the league, or you can be on a downer because you didn't get to the final, and they'd be on the beach now. I would have thought 13th. Yeah. They're not going to Europe.
No,
they're not getting relegated probably, even though they've only got four more points than us.
Yeah.
But I mean, unless Ben Mee turns out to be Don Revie, which he of course was a player who became a manager, then I think they're on the beach.
The other thing is, I think Gallagher's probably been their best player, hasn't he? And he wasn't allowed to play in the semi-final. That will remind him that he's not a Palace player, that he's actually told to do what he's told to do by Chelsea. Is he going to be there next year at Crystal Palace? Probably not. So is he going to be bought into the next few games? I mean, he strikes me as a kid who probably will turn up and do his best for Vieira. He seems to have a lot of respect for him and seems like quite an honest kid. But he might have switched off a little bit now after the other day. I mean, if he could get to a final with his loan club, and he's been robbed of that chance, maybe if he'd have played, it might have been a different result. So I think he'll probably not be sulking a little bit, but I just feel like the way we are at the minute, the way the luck seems to have turned a little bit for us, and the way that we're playing, we're not particularly expansive, we're not playing brilliant football, but we're getting results and we're putting chances away which we weren't before. So I think we've got every chance of getting a result against Palace. I know hopefully going to those 3 games knowing that if as expected we don't get out, it probably ain't going to matter. Brighton and Brentford will be interesting last few games, won't they? But I reckon get a result. Palace maybe be a narrow 1-2-1.
Yeah. Okay. Let us know what your score prediction is in the comments. If you're brave enough, Wardy, you got a score prediction?
I'd go with you, and I think 2-1 to Leeds. I think it'll be probably another late goal actually to win it. Cue the limbs in the way and as per, because this seems to be happening a lot recently, doesn't it? It's brilliant to see. What do you reckon?
I'm going to go 2-0.
2-0, nice. To Leeds?
Yeah.
Palace.
After all that chat, 2-0 Palace. That's
a nice easy win for Palace.
Yeah. It's mental looking at the table actually. You said about our goal difference. We're only on -3 goal difference, which I think is crazy. You got Watford -32, Everton, Burnley -19. Although it's pretty shit, it's not the worst, is it? And I think someone's put it in there. We've only won 8 this year. We've only won 8 this year, so it's just it's
just a goal difference -30.
Ours is -30. Oh, -20 something now. It might be 30 now, might it?
I was just looking in -3. That's all.
No, we're fucked, mate. We've got minus.
I was going to say we were conceding 3 goals a game at some point, weren't we?
Yeah, we are. We're
-3. It says on Sky, right?
Really? Typical Sky, a lot of shit. It's
minus.
Yeah.
I think even after the 3-0 the other day,
-30.
Yeah.
That brings that right back down to earth. I was like, -3, shit.
This is a professional Leeds United podcast, and we have all the latest data and statistical information for your.
-30.
Marsh has done a really good job.
Yeah, I think what it is
you getting your stats from Wiggy again?
It's that big; it can't actually fit the 0 on the -3.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I literally think that's what it is. So, yeah.
Right then, last few comments. I recommend The Power of Geography by Tim Marshall, an excellent discourse about the power of geopolitics and its future consequences. Well, better than Alexander Dugin, Adam. That was Adam Clark, by the way. Dugin is a geopolitical commentator in Russia that you don't want to read unless you want to get nightmares. Monday, 8 p.m, Shite. said McAllister Bishop. I like that.
Yeah.
Short, simple. And he's giving the reason that can't get drunk. That's the reason. So, Rusty Smith has said Palace won 12 games last year and only 8 this year. One of those games was against us, of course, when we went down there last year. Lost 4-1.
Yeah. It was a horrible game, that wasn't it?
Some of the flukiest goals you've ever seen in your life.
Bamford's arm offside. That was that one,
Bamford's
wasn't it?
disallowed one. Yeah.
Yeah, we were proper robbed that game. I remember being really pissed off.
Costa slid in to block a cross.
Yeah.
God, yeah.
Eze smashed in a free kick.
Yeah.
Don't think he's done that since.
He's hardly played since, I don't think.
No.
McAllister Bishop, not sure what this... straight Desmond 2-2 for me, not sure what that's in reference to.
The draw
2-2, yeah.
Palace
There you go, yeah.
well,
2-2 says Rusty Smith. Lots of 2-2s then. And Adam Clark. With Cooper back, we will keep a clean sheet. Just hope we can score 2.
We can. We're scoring for fun now.
So there you go. I wanted to recommend a TV show, by the way. It's called Winning Time. The Rise of the Lakers Dynasty.
Ooh. Nice. Which was today?
I've got one for you while Sam's looking. Untold series on Netflix. It's sports, dramatic sports kind of stories. Probably stories away from the actual sports. There's one called Malice in the Palace about a big fracas at a basketball game. There's one called Points and Penalties or something, which is about a ice hockey team that's owned by a mafia boss's son. There's one about a female boxer, Christy. I'd be really good at this shit if I was good at detail and I could remember names. But
getting old, bless you.
Yeah, they're really good. They're brilliant. There's only about an hour and 20 minutes long, and they're fantastic stories.
What were they called? Sorry, Ewan, I didn't quite.
It's called the Untold series, right, on Netflix.
Nice, I'll have a go on them.
Yeah,
the one that I had was, I watched it last night. Me and my missus watched it. It's a 4-part drama on ITV called "The Thief, His Wife, and the Canoe." About John Darwin and Anne Darwin, who he faked his death to try and get a life insurance payout. True story. I remember it happening back when I was a lot younger, and
I do.
Never really understood it or looked into it. But yeah, it's a brilliant watch. Some good actors in there as well. So yeah, we watched that last night. It's on ITV. Recommend.
Nice.
Lovely. Lovely
TV
stuff. Yeah, there you go. So we should build that into a more of a what do you call it? A segment.
Yeah, I like that.
I like that. It's good. Right, final thoughts then, gents, and then we can all piss off.
I'll start. It's just very nice to be back, lads. It's like I've never been away. I've missed chatting. I've missed talking about Leeds. No one would have it in phase one. I was the only Leeds fan out of 60 lads, so no one would put up with my Leeds chat. So no, it's been nice to be back, and now I'm starting phase 2. I can be on my phone a lot more. I'll be a lot more involved, and I can certainly be on a lot more. So yeah. Thank you. I've enjoyed it.
Does that mean that you'll be joining us from like a submarine or something?
No, fuck that. I'll be in Portsmouth. So, but I'll have to be on a tablet. So we might have to work that out. It might be all right, to be fair. But we'll work out something. But yeah,
we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
If you sound shit, we'll just drop you from the
that's fine.
from the pod.
If you get fucking better Wi-Fi than me in a submarine on a tablet, I'm gonna be. I'm bringing Virgin Media, and everybody's gone mad to complain about that.
Yeah, just quote me, mate. Just say I've got.
Listen, I've just done a speed test, and my mate on a submarine out in the middle of the sea on a tablet's getting quicker bloody bandwidth than me. For fuck's sake, what's going on?
It's a surefire way to get some more money off, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Big Mac.
Oh, I don't know. I'm tired, to be honest.
Yeah. Old. Tired and old.
I'm not going to feel even older now that somebody's reinforced the fact that I'd forgotten I was 50. Somebody kindly reminded me. No, it's great to have Wadi back. Always remember some brilliant podcasts we did together during lockdown, and when there was no fans allowed in. The Fulham game away in London. The Man City game, but there was loads more as well. So it's great to have you back, mate, and glad you're safe. And
I'm absolutely fine, loving it, mate.
Good lads, it's great to hear. You look like you're enjoying life, so that's brilliant.
Thank you, Matt.
Yep, we needed some security on the Roman Peacock as well. Waddy can sort of defend us while I hide or run.
Lethal weapons now, these, remember? My missus has called them that for years. So.
Wow. What are you doing with those hands? Actually, I don't want to know.
You don't want to know.
Yeah.
This will get switched off any minute.
Let you use your imagination.
Thank you very much for all the love that you've been giving us on Twitter. We had 1,000 likes on one of our tweets. That was great.
And a lot of audience as well. 2,000 one week, 1,200 the other week.
It'll go down now. I'm back, honest.
No, well, I'd like to think it'll go up, but I think somebody made a great point, which in the comments, which is kind of worth kind of reviewing, which is about the fact that if you're watching this and listening in and not liking and following and giving us a bit of love, then you should probably fuck off. So, they didn't word it like that, but that's my version of it. So if you're watching, if you enjoy it, like it, and give us a few.
What was that Machiavellian tweet? It is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both.
Yeah. So Bandy Fornowski put, anybody that comes up here and doesn't like and subscribe will come round and let your tyres down. So, it's good point. Well made, Bandy. Thank you.
Is that what he said?
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Well, we're trying to find it now.
We do know where you live, especially with Sam on board now, because we just get the old KGB files out and find out where you all live.
Got the inside intel now.
Nuclear deterrent.
Yeah.
If you don't like and subscribe,
we'll point the missiles at your house.
Right then. Never was anything great achieved without danger, and that was a particularly dangerous one. Best wishes to Stuart Dallas, of course, Marcelo Bielsa, Sean Dyche, wherever Brexit ball takes him. Probably within the boundaries of the UK.
Derby. Lancashire, probably.
Definitely be a derby, won't he? Especially if he's into smashing bars up and caught in controversy.
Yeah.
Surely he'll get the Everton job as he's such good pals with Dunk. They go way back.
Way back, smashing bars up.
Previous, haven't they?
And Lampard can't be long for that job, Lampard.
No. Thank God.
I've got one last thing to say, sorry, before we go. If we're not going to be back on. Week tomorrow, I go to watch Pablo. Well, I don't go to watch Pablo a week tomorrow, but I go out to Valencia on the week tomorrow, 27th, I think it is. And go to Friday night. That Friday night, we got to watch Pablo Hernandez play for Castellon. So there you go. And the
fantastic.
The guy that we've arranged it with, who is like the chairman of the Valencia Leeds United Supporters Club, who happens to be based out there, Leeds fan called Martin, who we know. He's arranged for us to meet him as well. So
brilliant.
Get to meet him after the game. So I'm quite pleased about that. So that's going to be it came to mind because you were talking about Bielsa, and if he did get the Newell's job, and I think it'd be brilliant to organise. That'd be the next jaunt. I was saying to my brother, who I'm going out to Valencia with, that if Bielsa did get the Newell's job, which I'm sure at some point he will, I think that should be a Peacock's tour with maybe some
pilgrimage. That would be
a pilgrimage out to Rosario to watch Newell's under Bielsa, because it's absolutely crazy. The games, the atmosphere and stuff's brilliant. I'd love to go out there and watch a game out there. So but I thought I'd mention that because I've been looking forward to it. It seems like a lifetime ago.
You booked it ages ago. I remember that.
Yeah, well, my brother got it for my 50th, which was in December. So
oh wow, yeah.
I can't even remember. It's insignificant, but apparently there's a little section of the stand at Castellon which is sort of dedicated to Leeds fans that are going out there. And I think there's another 30 or so out that weekend. Martin was telling me that are going to watch him, so there'll be about 40 Leeds fans watching. I mean, listen, to imagine a player having that kind of impact. He's not played for us for some time now. It doesn't happen very often, does it? That you go and watch a player. He's held in such high regard, probably because he got us promoted. The Swansea goal, I think, was a special moment. But I think people appreciate real footballers, come and make a difference to your club. I mean, him going out to wherever it was, Saudi Arabia or whatever, and playing his football, and us kind of bringing him back, which is probably something you can credit Monk with, really, because he had him at Swansea, didn't he?
Yeah.
What a story. I mean, he's almost retired out there, I guess. He's gone for money. Comes back to Leeds as this kind of bit of a pot shot, really, a bit of a leap of faith that he might come back and be anything like the player he was. I don't remember him being particularly special at Swansea, but he must have been. What a player he was for us, and just the enjoyment he gave and the goals he scored and the kind of commitment to the cause and how upset he was when we didn't get promoted. I think he just endeared himself to Leeds fans, didn't he? And to sort of go out there and that's the hand grenade in the pitch at Newell's, isn't it?
Jesus.
Maybe you should have gone out there to do your training, Ward.
Yes, bloody hell.
I'm really looking forward to going to see Pablo. Like I said, for such a player to make such an impact, and I'm really looking forward to it. Partly because I get a few days away in Valencia, which would be brilliant, but also just to go see Pablo play again, which he didn't really get a chance to do as he left Leeds. I think that's another reason why people might go out and watch him, is because they never got him to sort of say their farewells to him, and he's such a special player. So really looking forward to that. So I'll give you a full report back on the podcast and maybe do a few live bits out there or whatever for
brilliant. Enjoy that. That'd be brilliant. That. I'm jealous that you got to see him.
Yeah, you'll have to get your phone out and say good day.
I will do, mate.
I enjoy.
Foul show.
Yeah. Might even be able to tune in to a live stream maybe and get Pablo on the pod.
Mate, if I've been out in Valencia with our kid for 3 days, the last thing you want is me turning up being bad enough when I'm sober.
Don't know. Sounds pretty good to me. Right, is that it?
Yeah, man.
That's it, yeah.
Everything? Fantastic. So if you want to follow us on Twitter, it's at Peacocks Raw. And I'll only be putting my sort of LUFC thought stream up on there, and of course give us a like. You can find us on YouTube, and till then, is that it?
Take care. Have a good one, everyone.
Arrivederci or adios, whatever it is in Spanish.
Come on, Leeds!
Oh, fucking beat Palace. Come on, let's have them.
Yeah,
vamos Leeds, carajo.
Beat Palace. Come on.
They're not even South London, are they? They think they are, but they're not. They'll latch straight on.